you will in doing the pledge.
That flag, not that.
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of
of
America,
America, and to the republic,
which it stands,
one nation, under
Under
God, indivisible,
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, because that's a sign of being in distress, right?
That's right.
When you do your flag upside down.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No. All right, fantastic. So with that, we'll let Steve start brags.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I believe it's August 9th. Hope everybody's been having a good time this summer. Thank goodness for the cold front that moved in. Still 106, is 96 or something? I think we got one drop of rain lately. My lake's so low, I had to go to my lake house this weekend. The water levels dropped so low that my sprinkler pump was sucking air. So I had to get down in the lake, cut the pipe, and move it further out. Yeah, that's my brag. I was physically able to do it. I had to use a ladder to get down into the lake. That's how far it's down. So, Richland Chambers. It's managed by the Tarrant Regional Water District. So that's where Tarrant County's getting their water. So who wants to brag here today? Anybody in a bragging mood?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, there's a story here. So some time ago, we were gonna hire some people to do some work on our house, and we'd come to learn that the folks that were working for them weren't making very much. So raise of hands, who knows what the living wage is in Collin County for someone who has one kid?
Say $12 an hour or something?
Any other?
Define living wage.
Living wage is defined by the MIT living wage calculator. Basic amount of money to just pay your bills, not have savings, not buy a beer, not
No beer?
nope, no beer. Just living this. It is 31.
31.
31. That's if you have just one kid, right? So we went to them and said, hey, look, we find this to be problematic. We want to make sure that in working for us in our house, you pay at least $31 an hour. And they, remember, I took some pushing, but eventually they said yes. I told this to some friends at work, and then excitedly, a friend came and told me, I was inspired by you, and so I did the same thing with us. And so there you go.
Oh, that is awesome.
Pushing it forward.
Do they charge you anymore?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm neck deep in wages, you know, with me running an air conditioning company, and at the end of the day is all in the price they charge. You know, I commend you for doing that. By the way, you can make $100,000 a year being an air conditioning technician or more.
Trying to hire me?
Spread the word. Who else wants to brag? All right. We're working on getting kangaroo added to the menu, but we're not there yet.
Thank you very much. I'll prefer springbuck, but that's fine. All right. This is actually something I should have said a long time ago. A very, very dear family friend of ours, Janekia van der Merwe, very South African surname, was awarded the Paul Harris Fellowship in recognition of the Mapula embroidery project of the Seroptimists, which has upskilled and benefited many communities in several African countries. She's a very dear family friend, and she's always told us about the Rotary, and here I am at last November. Thank you.
That's awesome. Anybody down at this end want to brag? Going once, going twice. All right. Okay.
I am just excited. The new school year is starting tomorrow in Plano ISD, and I am excited that we managed to get school supplies and spiritware sold. It was a little bit of a scramble, but we did it.
Congratulations. I'm curious, did you poll the teachers on their glad school's starting back up? I know the kids are excited, and I think a lot of parents are excited too, because now their kids are going back to school and they get back to their routines. But I bet you the teachers, I know at least the one I'm married to, the first day of school was hard on me.
Well, since Catherine brought up school and school starting tomorrow, we got, Douglas Vision's got a donation of about 120 more backpacks. So if you all know of anyone that needs backpacks, please let us know. We know they ran out at PISD, so just let us know.
He looked up the.
That's awesome. It's good to hear. Our technology geniuses
This
was
one.
able to get y'all flipped up right. Now the screen looks normal. Woo-hoo.
I guess I have another brag now. Yes. You can
So
brag again.
online, who wants to start off brags today? Have right at it. Nadja?
Well, I don't know if it's brag or not, but yes, school starts. One of mine is going to school tomorrow, but another one is leaving to college on Sunday. Happy sad time, but she's so ready. She's so excited. She's going to Arizona, planning to change the world. Yay.
Congratulations. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
I leave for Turkey this Sunday, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go as much as ready as I can be. And I just wanted to let you guys know that in my stead, I will miss you, and I will be thinking of you all. And if you see anything Parks and Recreation related wise, if you could please, honestly, in all seriousness, while I'm gone, if you notice anything Parks and Rec needs to be aware of, you see anything out and about that might need our attention, just a reminder, you can always report it through the Fix It app on the city's website, or you can email us at parksinfo@plano.gov. So.
The grass is brown.
Yeah, well, besides that.
Lisa, you want to brag today?
No, I don't have a brag.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fred Thomas, you want to brag? I don't think we're in as much of a braggy mood. Glenn?
So I have a brag. It's kind of a brag. It's for Kelly a little bit. So you may know Rotary has an app. It has two apps. There's a Club Runner app we talked about, but there's also it ties more with Rotary International. And someone like Kelly could go search for Turkey and look up all kinds of Rotary clubs that you could go to. Or you can go to wherever you are.
Oh my
search,
gosh.
say, okay, here's a Rotary club in this city. It meets on Tuesdays at noon. Here's, if you log into Rotary, here's our contact information. So that's pretty cool. If you
Oh my gosh, thank you for telling me, Glenn. I will totally check that out. That is really neat.
Actually, for you, I actually yesterday looked at Turkey. I had a bunch of clubs. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So also along that line, Kelly, what's a typical process for Rotary clubs is if they go somewhere like Turkey or anywhere and visit another club, clubs have their own little special flags.
Mhm.
And so I can get you a flag that you could take to a club and get their flag and bring it back here.
Oh,
It's a flag exchange.
I would love that. I would love that. I will get with you offline after this meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Love it.
Anybody here want to brag more? No? Okay, anybody left online that wants to brag that hasn't? Okay, I'm going to briefly talk about the vocational talks, classification talks, whichever you like to call it. I need each and every one of you to get with me because I'm trying to get the calendar filled up for vocational talks going forward. So starting with next Tuesday, anybody that's available, but if we could get the calendar filled up so I can keep everybody in the loop as to the days we have people to brag, that would, not brag, but do a classification talk, that'd be great. Just briefly, 2-3 minutes of a talk about what you do at your work. If you're retired, what you do in your retirement, but just in general, a little bit about your family. If you got kids, how old, things like that. And just in general, just a little overview so we can get to know a little bit about you and what you do better. So I need your help with that. I don't want to have to start hunting people down. So please, after the meeting, or even on a scrap piece of paper, let me know when you're available to do one over the next, let's say 90 days through the end of this year. How about that? Through the end of this year. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Man, the room filled up. I love it when I get to see everybody's smiling faces and look at James Thomas, and you didn't brag or anything.
I did not, just at my age, just being here to brag. I can't wait until I'm Fred Day to see if I'm still here.
Y'all know the population I work with. You know, when they walk in the door and I say, "How are you today?" They're like, "I woke up this morning." And I always tell them, my view on it is I'm looking down at the petals and not up at the roots. So we're good. So we had a lot of stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to let y'all know that what I'm going to try to start doing is the volunteer projects that we have coming up, if for like the next month, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to try to have a printed copy at the back of the table, just in case anybody needs that. Again, the population I work with, they like tangible. They want something in their hand to walk away with. So I can't get out of that mindset. And I know we used to do that. Michelle did that when she was president a few years back. And it's always nice for me because then I can just grab that piece of paper and stick it in my pocket or my purse. And that's my reminder. And I don't forget to go look online when I get back to my computer. So I asked Jen, she led the backpack program, volunteer project this past weekend. And she's not here today because school starts tomorrow. But next week, she's going to take a couple minutes and just talk about that project and how it went. So any of you that are doing the service projects throughout the next year, if you want to talk the meeting after, just let me know, because I don't want to stand up here and have a monologue talking to you or at you for 20 minutes. I want us to be interactive and have a lot of people up here sharing their insights and what they see. Yes.
In there are a bunch of large bags of shoes. That's from last year's shoe drive. That's left over from last year's shoe drive. I don't know if we're going to do another one this year. There's hundreds. I know. There's some place that we can just take. Well, I was going to see if we're going to do one this year, and it would be starting soon if we did, and then that would go into that.
All right. Are they new shoes or used shoes?
Used.
Combination?
Mainly used, but a little bit of both. Well, they did, but we would get people donating their shoes. We had a deadline. We sent them off. People kept donating, and we were kind of done. And I thought, well, we'll just wait till next year and start it again. Okay.
So we have a jump start on it.
We have a
just
jump
to
start.
find somebody to head it.
We have a shoe up.
There you go. Yeah, see, we had the wellness center be a drop-off spot. And so we had to actually put a sign up and said, this project has ended, please don't leave your shoes. Because they're givers, I'm serious, they're givers, and they see those boxes out there, and Julia Lynn made this beautiful sign, she decorated the box, made this beautiful sign, so, I mean, that's your best avenue for getting people to participate is put your box outside my door over at the senior center. And they
You got
will
it.
bring you, yes.
Yeah.
We've done it for the homeless population or the individuals experiencing homelessness. I hate when I do that. We'll do blanket drives and stuff like that, come closer to cold weather. And we just have mounds. We'll walk in the next morning and there will just be piles of blankets and robes and shoes. And so they're givers. And some of them are probably trying to clean their closets out. So you're doing them a favor too. So a couple of projects on the calendar that we have coming up. One, I wanted to remind everybody that our district roundtable is this Saturday. I know Michael went last time and hopefully he's going to go again. I encourage y'all to go. It's fun. Tamara, I would definitely recommend that you go if you can. You can't go. It's okay. I'm not trying to guilt anybody into going. If you
I'll
can
be
go-
there.
Yeah, right. Will Michelle be there too?
She will.
Okay, awesome. So that's always fun. And that is it. The networking starts at 9:30. The meeting starts at 10 and goes until noon. And then the board of directors meeting is this coming Monday, the 15th at 6 p.m. Anybody and everybody is welcome to attend. There's nothing private or privileged that is discussed. It is all transparent. And again, the way I am, I encourage you to be involved and participate and hear firsthand and voice your thoughts and concerns firsthand. So if you choose to join us for that, it is Monday at 6 o'clock and
Zoom.
it is via Zoom and you access it through the same Zoom link that you use for the meetings every week. So it's super easy. My biggest struggle is getting home so I can eat before the meeting starts because otherwise I'm not pleasant. So the next thing is I want to talk really quickly about the food and clothing drive. So if you looked online at the promotion for the service project, it says that that project is taking place the 16th through the 30th. I'm working on getting that corrected. That's not accurate. The food and clothing drive is for the entire month of August. So it started August 1st and it runs through the 30th. The dates, the 16th and the 30th, are simply when we're going to do drop-offs to Hope Restored Mission so that we can try to spread some of the love out because their food pantry is already suffering tremendously to where their staff, which I think I might have mentioned is all volunteer, they're purchasing items out of their own pockets to be able to provide water and snacks and things for the homeless individuals or the individuals experiencing homelessness that walk in their door. So if anyone has the notion to contribute some things, the list is online. I think Joanna created and
well, I haven't created it yet. I haven't had a chance to create the list yet because I just spoke with the guy that's running it 10 minutes ago. And I told him about the concept. It's the Amazon wish list thing. We've done this before with our club. Works really well, but I got to figure out what he wants on the wish list. Once I get the wish list put together, the link goes out to everybody who wants to jump in. Yay. You buy it on Amazon, gets delivered to my house, and then I make sure it gets, I'll bring it here or get it to the right place.
That's awesome.
yes, that makes it so easy. I thought it was already done. I'm sorry. I thought it was already done because the director reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, do you know Mary Smith? And I said, no. And she said, well, they had some panties delivered here from Amazon. And I was like, well, that's probably from our Amazon wish list. But yes, it wasn't. So I don't know how they knew. I don't know how this sweet lady knew that they needed panties. At any rate, Michael talked about the living wage. I cannot tell you, I'm going to get on a soapbox. I cannot tell you how many families and individuals are being impacted by the cost of living now. We had so many, we being the Wellness Center, have so many people. And granted, we work with, have the pleasure of working with individuals 55 and over. I can't tell you how many of them are experiencing homelessness, living on the streets, under a bridge, in their car. And so when they go to that side of town, that side of the highway, they can go to Hope Restored Mission pretty much extended hours outside of what Minnie's and North Texas Food Bank and those agencies have, and get food, water, clothing for their families. I have one family that has 5 kids, y'all. Breaks my heart. They serve 24 and up, so they get the families, but just breaks my heart. They have a family they just told me about the other day, 5 kids. So David, y'all might talk with Tammy. Okay. I just didn't know if they might need some backpacks.
Cool. You said it at the house.
What's that? Oh, no, I'm talking, no. Her kid, the individuals, the families that they work with, that they might need backpacks, because you said you have 100 backpacks.
Taking that $31 an hour times 40 hours times 52 weeks, that's $64,500 a year. That's huge.
And they're not making it, I guarantee you. So with that, I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. No, they don't. They don't. And they're buying supplies, school supplies out of their own pockets. So we have Avenue K, we have the Bed Start coming up on September 3rd, Avenue K, and the North Texas Pride Festival on the 17th. I know Tara is really looking for some folks to help out at the Pride Festival. She said they had a great time last year. It wasn't really hard work. It was more fun than anything else. So check that out. I wanted to mention the Rotary Means Business. Their first networking meeting is going to be on the 20th from 5 to 7 at 12 Cuts Brazilian Steakhouse. I don't know where that is, but I'm sure you can Google it.
It's a tollway, yeah.
See, I don't go down there. Yeah. I live in McKinney. I go McKinney, Plano, McKinney. And then the Plano Balloon Festival. Plano Balloon Festival. We need people to sign up. We have 88-ish spots that we need to fill. It is 4 days this year. I know my staff over at the Wellness Center has already started signing up. I'm so proud of them. And the one that signed up already recruited her husband. He's a Marine, so we're trying to get his best friend and his best friend to come too.
It is
online.
Yeah, I just want to remind you, I need cashiers. So I expect to be there all weekend long, but we need to have members handling our money. So I do need you to sign up and let me know. It's not hard. I just want to make sure that it's members that are handling our cash.
This is going to start on Thursday.
Yes, it starts on Thursday the 22nd and it goes through Sunday the 25th. Look at, Mike brought a printed copy. The sign up is online. You go to our website, find service project, drop down, scroll down to Plano Balloon Festival. You'll get the lovely description, and then down at the bottom, sign up. So it's lots of fun. I know I've said it a million times, but especially if you get to hang out with the Beamendorfer boys, it's a blast. So with that, Joanna, we're a couple minutes early, but Joanna, if you would like to come and introduce our 2 beautiful guests that are going to share about the Plano Public Library.
So pleased today to have one of Plano's very own come and talk about something that is one of the best things about Plano, in my opinion, along with Parks and Rec. It's our library system. there are so many cool things that the library does. And I'm just so excited to have Libby Holtman come and speak with us. And I asked her for her bio, and this is what she said. She says that she grew up in Plano. She loves the library. She's been working for the city since 1998. So that's shortly after I even moved to Plano, and enjoys connecting residents to library services and their fabulous staff. Let's give a warm Rotary welcome to Libby.
Libby, who was your favorite English teacher as a 7th grader?
This is a hard question, Coach. You should have asked me who gives the best hugs in the city of excellence, and I would have said Coach Thomas. It is absolutely, he was the best teacher, by the way, no joke. Our family moved here in the late 70s, and so we had the pleasure of going through Wilson and having Coach as part of our family, our extended family. So I'm delighted to be here to share information about your libraries. I guess I'll have to turn.
Yeah, sorry.
I apologize. Well, I'm adaptable. There we go. Well, there's our leadership team, and we like to have fun at work. So I like to start with something that shows the joy we have at work. So we have five libraries across the city. How many of you here in this room and on Zoom have a library card? Oh, good. And it just means I have a little bit of work to do then, so I'll work a little harder. Library cards are free if you're a Plano resident, as well as with our reciprocal cities. Because we reciprocate with those cities that you see on the presentation, that means you can also go to their city and get a library card as well and use their resources. That means you can use their e-resources, their e-books, their e-audio. And so we're open 7 days a week. We're open 69 hours a week. So we have a lot of capacity to deliver excellent service for this community. And we have a wealth of friendly staff that love to connect you to whatever it is that you're looking for. So when you walk in the door, we have friendly staff that are just trying to make your day. That's our goal. Next slide. So when we talk about all the things we do, these are our, okay, if you want to see me. Sure.
The people online want to see.
That's a fair request. We have 3 pillars in our strategic direction that staff helped us create. We want to engage and enrich and educate our community. So every single thing we do comes from these pillars of service. And I like to brag, because I heard y'all brag, and I've learned to brag as I've done this job. So I'd like to brag about our fantastic staff. We're an award-winning public library. We've won state awards, national awards. Last night we were at City Council where we received accolades from them, acknowledging that our team won some American Library, and he blew bubbles. You're speaking my love language, sir. You need to know that. Someone in the audience just blew bubbles at us to like celebrate. And everybody at the table has bubbles just for those viewers at home. So we won an award for 2 PR exchange acknowledgements from the American Library Association, which is the National Association for Public Libraries. We've also won Texas State Library Awards, as well as been accredited every year we've applied, and we've received excellence awards from the Texas Municipal League and the Library Directors Association there. So that's our brag from the library. And then here's some of our staff. And every single thing that we do, we think about how can this benefit our community? How can we serve our residents? How can we make a connection or provide a resource that's needed? And so these are the 5 areas that we focus on. So the first one is something I think a lot of people think about when they think about the library: early learning for your families, whether it's story time or it's engaging with homework help for your students. We have free tutoring online through tutor.com. We have a wealth of educational databases for students for all ages to do test prep, to get extended literature resources. So we support our learners all throughout their life. We have college prep. So sometimes we'll partner with a company that comes in and they do free SAT testing at no charge. Anything at your public library is free. So I just want to make that clear. There's no fees associated with it. If you're a Plano resident, our services are free to you. And then I'm excited to share, we have 2 libraries that participate in a national program. It's called the Family Place, where we connect families with social learning opportunities and resources in the community. So we bring in community partners and we do story times and things like that to engage them.
And we're about to receive certification at our second location, which is Schimmelfinnig. Our first location is Harrington Library on the east side. Schimmelfinnig Library is kind of off Custer and Spring Creek. And they're about to get their national recognition on September 14th, I believe it is. So that'll be a nice little event. If you're available at 11 a.m., show up, we'll celebrate that. So business and career. This might be relevant in this room, especially. We help a lot of people re-enter the workforce. We also help people fine tune their skills. You'll know during COVID, a lot of people had the opportunity to pause, look at what they're doing, or maybe they lost a job. We helped them get back into writing a resume or practicing their interview skills. We bring in outside partners to help facilitate that. I see bubbles blowing in the back. Keep it going. This is going to be a new requirement when I give a presentation. I love it. We have lots of databases that you can use as a resource. If you're trying to look for market research, or say you'd like to learn a new skill, there's LinkedIn Learning, which I love. Every week I try and do another class. It's online, you log in, you can do anything from communication skills, customer service, critical conversations, LaShawn, all the things people are always trying to learn and do better. You're excellent at critical conversations. So LinkedIn Learning has these modules you can go through, and it's video tutorials, and they're real short, but they just kind of help keep your skills up, and it's a wealth of resources there. And then we recently started with entrepreneurs and small business. We've been working with SCORE. Some of you might know that organization. We have a mentor that comes into, I thought maybe a yes, or I don't know, Schimmelfinnig Library, and he works one-on-one with small business, helping small business owners. And then on Tuesdays, we have a networking group that's recently started. So it's Team Up for Entrepreneurial Success, TUES. Tuesdays are popular with y'all, so you might want to think about that too. Financial literacy, so important. Coach Thomas knows about this. We are invested in supporting, and as you mentioned earlier, everyone is struggling in one way or another. So we like to start early, from our youngest customers, our preschoolers, all the way up to seniors. How can we help educate you? How can we connect you to a partner that can share something that's meaningful to you? We are one of the only libraries in the state that's able to offer the Thinking Money exhibit for kids. We have it through the end of August. It's a national exhibit. We applied for the award and grant and received it. So it's a hands-on opportunity, thank you, to learn. And he just put my presentation on the screen, so I don't have to keep pivoting. So it's a great opportunity to come and learn hands-on, but that's financial literacy, as we all kind of were chatting at the beginning of the meeting, is so important. So from our babies who are trying to budget to get art supplies to do a program with us, all the way up to seniors. We're heavily invested in our community to do that. STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. A lot of times people think that's only for kids. It's not, it's for all ages. We do educational workshops. We provide hands-on learning opportunities. You'll notice our STEAM kits, we have 89 different topics from preschool all the way up to adult. And they're so much fun. You check them out, take them home and explore and learn and bring it back, and we'll get you another kit. So those are very, very popular. We have digital creation spaces at 2 of our locations, at Parr Library, which is off of Windhaven and the Tollway, Haggard Library, which is kind of in the center of the city on Coit. And when Harrington reopens, it's under construction, they're going to have a digital creation space there. So what that means is you're going to have capacity in computers with the Adobe Creative Suite. You're going to have the ability to film, edit, do podcasts. We've had patrons share their impact stories with us. Some have written their books and learned how to do the editing with us because we have the software, or they've created music, or they've used our 3D printers to do something for a nonprofit they work with. They design it in our DCS and we print it on our 3D printers. So it's pretty exciting to see. It's kind of like the sky's the limit. It's whatever you need. We find a way, hopefully, to find a tool or a resource so that it's accessible to all. Arts and culture, this is a sweet spot favorite of mine. I love visiting our library locations, and when you walk in, look at the walls. It's residents bringing their art to us. We have a system, you can go online and ask to present at our libraries, and we put your art on our walls, and some of it is simply magnificent. We had one a few years ago at Haggard Library in particular. It was a grandfather and his grandson, and you just walked the walls and just saw the storytelling and the work that they did together. It's fantastic. But if it's a cultural program, we want to host it or partner with somebody to offer it. And then of course at Haggard Library, we have the Genealogy Center. Who here in the room is interested in genealogy? I have Haggard Library and I have experts there that would love to help you. And Lisa said, me, yay, Lisa, I could read that far away. Woohoo. Thank you, bifocals. So yeah, so we have a lot to offer. So genealogy is at the Haggard location, and we're happy to book one-on-one appointments and guide you and help assist in any way. They get requests from across the nation because they're well known for it.
So they use a particular app or something, or?
So we offer ancestry.com. You have
Okay.
to be in the library to use it. They
Yeah.
also have Bold 3. We're currently in the midst of working on a contract to work with another group that opens up a lot of resources across the nation. So
Cool.
yeah, they also have a great, if you like Plano history, which why wouldn't you? Notice the pictures on the wall around here. Some of these might be ours. Just saying. So we also put Plano history on our website. So if you just like to see pictures or read the diaries of the founding families, they're available through our website. And just additional learning that you might not have thought of, we offer ESL classes. We also are big proponents to offer small talk opportunities. That's a program we've had for at least 15 years. And it's just conversation. It's getting people together. We have volunteers facilitated, and it's just a way to become comfortable in a language that maybe isn't your language, that you grew up with. We have senior classes, which are fantastic, ways to connect seniors, socialize seniors. Maybe I'm talking your love language a little bit there. We do all sorts of great programs, and we bring in partners as well that talk to specific topics that are important to our senior population. Yes.
Is there a definition for senior in terms of?
I'm a senior. So, yeah.
Okay, we can flip by, if I look like I can be here, then I'm.
If you feel like a senior, show up. We are open to all. Like, I feel like, you know what? I'm a senior. I just turned No, I'm not a senior. Neither is Coach. We're all very young and youthful. All right, duly noted. I'll see you at story time, sir. We will do toddler time together. Okay. We'd like to support our neurodivergent learners as well. So we have story times, we have programs, we have educational partners that we bring in that also meet the needs of that population in our community. And then Tammy, who came with me today, she is the queen of outreach and partnerships. She has a team that delivers this. This is our biggest growth opportunity. I'll tell you right now, it's a public library. We have 5 buildings. We probably won't go beyond that, but getting out into the community is really important to us. We want to reach the populations that don't know about us, that can't come to the library for whatever reason, regardless of whether you're a senior or just new to the community and unaware of what a library can do for you. We like to represent the city when we go out. We like to bring our friends from other departments if we can, if it's relevant. You'll see on the screen that big blue van in the very back. It's called #MoreThanBooks. We affectionately term it Big Blue. It blows 1,000 bubbles a minute. So when we go out to an event, we bring the party. I'm just gonna tell you, bubbles are magical. They bring all ages. And it has a TV on it. It has Wi-Fi. It's not a book delivery system. It's a technology teaching classes and bringing us out into the community. So I'll say we teach classes like this. We're hoping to get another Friends funded vehicle this year that then we can put materials on it and reach some of our seniors and other populations that aren't able to come to us. But we're always looking for partners. We always love to come out to school nights. We like to be where parents are with their kids so that we can talk about what the public library is about. We can talk about what it can do for your family. We can get you a library card because you have to be an adult. So if you want us, we have a form on our website. Just fill it out, and we'd love to come out and visit.
There's a guy that works in that thing.
Which one? We have 3 gentlemen. Okay. Oh, Dave, you're thinking of David. So David retired last year, which I'm a little jealous because we started as baby people in the 90s together, but he retired. But he was wonderful. I agree. David was wonderful. But we have 3 great gentlemen that ensure that all the materials go across our city in a timely manner.
Maybe I'd like to cut the outreach part of it.
Yes, sir.
A couple of weeks ago, and Joy was there, and Jerry was there, and David was there. We had our big back to school event, and you guys were there, and you did an absolutely wonderful job representing Plano. I mean, it's not a library anymore. It's a holistic approach to life, everything you do. But we cannot thank you enough for the participation that the city of Plano and the library, city of Plano does. We were projecting about 1,500 people. We know we had over 3,000 people there. There was a lot running it. A lot of people.
Awesome.
There. A lot of folks. So thank you guys so very much.
It's our pleasure. We appreciate the invitation being there, frankly. And I have to say, we've learned so much going out into the community that it's really exciting to go out and meet people where they are, understand what their needs are, and then find groups, organizations, nonprofits to find a way to bring resources together. We feel like we're kind of a connector in our community. And my biggest goal when I became director was I want people to know that we're a hashtag more than books. Like I said it over and over so that people don't always say library, books, because we're like, there's so much more. So I hope if you, nothing else, you walk away today feeling that. And then just for you personally, I can't not do this. It's the librarian in me. I just want you to know there's some resources you personally could use if you're interested. The tutor.com is what I mentioned. It's live one-on-one tutoring help, regardless of age. Pronunciator, if you're trying to learn a new language or brushing up on something. Learning Express Library is a database we have where you can practice tests, online tests, test preparation. Libby, which why wouldn't you want the Libby app? Libby, we love Libby. I'm just kidding. It's a great app though. It's an app that allows you to do ebooks and e-audiobooks and magazines. And then Press Reader. How many of you guys like to read the newspaper, Dallas Morning News, magazines, things like that? Press Reader is a free app. You log in with your library card, find the Plano Library, and you have free access to hundreds of newspapers around the world, multiple languages, as well as magazines. So we can save you a little money too. And then Canopy is an online streaming service with educational content for the youngest, the PBS group of kids, as well as adults. And LinkedIn Learning, I mentioned, that's my personal favorite. And what questions do you have? Yes.
I love Libby. But I often don't, either there's not enough copies or the book itself is literally not available. How does that work?
Yep, great question. Thank you. So the question was, how do I get a copy of a book on Libby when there's not enough copies? Or what if the book's not in Libby and I really want the book? There's a request process. You can request if there's something you want. I'll tell you, publishers don't always release the e-material to that vendor for us to have it on the app. What I will share from the back end of business for us is we have selectors that are constantly looking for materials to order. They're reading all of our professional journals. They are abreast of what's coming out. They are well prepared because that's their focus of their job. So if it's like a popular author, either we can't get it. If you don't see it, we can't get it yet. I assure you, we know it's coming or we want to get it.
5 copies and they only do 2.
Yes. Well, let me share that ebooks are like 3 times the cost of a book.
Oh, wow.
And there's limits to how many times somebody can use that ebook. So sometimes they have metered checkouts. So it will, for this amount of money, these are all the checkouts you get on it. So I'll tell you, ebooks are more expensive than a traditional book. However, through COVID, we learned ebooks are wildly popular and we have a whole new audience now that want that in our community. So to meet that demand, we asked last year in our budget to the city manager, could we have more funds for e-materials? Because we showed the numbers and the demand and we were nowhere near meeting what people needed. They gave us additional funds. And I don't know that we'll ever get enough to meet like I want it, how I want it, when I want it, but we're doing our best. And we work with that vendor also to try and find ways for immediate access. They're starting different programs that allow you that unlimited users. So it would be available to anyone. So we're constantly doing our best to like stretch our dollars. Yes, sir.
I'm curious, you get a super popular book that comes out.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Yes.
How many copies do y'all want to give?
That's a great question. I wish I had Janet with me. She's the manager who handles all that. In general, I'll say they look at it and they see what formats it's available in. We've learned that we need to order almost now more e than we need to order physical copies.
Yeah.
And so we manage that way. We have 5 locations. They all are equal in terms of service level and materials, but our collection floats, which means it goes wherever people request it. So it could be on a new James Patterson, maybe it's 50 copies of a book. Don't hold me to this. Janet's not here. She would cringe if I get it wrong, but in general, we order based on what demand shows because we watch our metrics and how much it actually checks out throughout the years.
Would y'all purchase those copies?
We purchase physical books, and on ebooks, there's like 3 different models we have to try and use to get a book. So it varies. We don't own the ebooks forever, if that makes any sense. It's kind of a renting.
Subscription.
Don't want to just give away all the books either.
They don't, but I will tell you that e-readership just in library land, it boosts what people buy in book format. So people will see something in an ebook and get hooked on an author and go back and get books. So it's a really interesting, people think, oh, are books dead? Books are not dead. I'm going to tell y'all, it's about, even with ebooks, maybe a little higher use slightly in our community. So people are reading in this community, which I think is fantastic. We definitely have readers.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I've been doing the genealogy research through ancestry.com. And one of the things that I was wondering if the library has access to is old newspaper, like on microfiche that you can do searches and stuff on.
Yes, and we have it online and we also have microfiche. So I would say call Haggard Library and ask to speak to somebody from genealogy or have them contact you. And we can get real specific down to what you're looking for.
And it can be anywhere in the US?
It depends on what it is, yes. So I would just say connect with us and tell us what the interests are. I have learned just by asking the genealogy librarians, nothing is almost impossible. They have great connections and we have a great reputation and they've built relationships throughout the years. So I'm not going to promise you the moon, but it's worth asking the question. I always say, ask the question, ask for what you need. We're pretty persnickety in our persistence.
Thanks.
When it comes to, this is something I've talked about for years. When we talk about the role of diversity in our society, and what a great thing it is, it's wonderful. I always think in the back of my mind, yes, and it comes with added responsibility. So I would like to hear about with the libraries when we talk about the diversity in our community and the many different interests and cultural background, interest and relationship status, whatever that is. How do you all manage? So my computer library, I don't think this should be here. Take this off the shelf. I'm offended. How do you all handle? How do you find the balance in making sure that we are representing our society, our community, as well as being sensitive to what, I mean, is that a thing and is that a balance? How do you do that?
So public libraries are built on the foundation of open access for all. We are about serving the community that we represent, the community that we are within, the diversity of thought, the diversity of materials. That's what public libraries are about. They are open to all. You may not like every single thing in our library, and that is perfectly fine. We hope to have something for everyone so that they see themselves in the materials, in the staff that we hire, in the resources, in the classes. We want to connect people so that you feel seen and that you are represented. Our staff speaks over 26 languages at this point in time. We are often called upon by the city to serve as a resource to other city departments because we hire staff that love people and have other skills and abilities that we know we need to be able to share back with our community. So we have diverse collections, we have different languages, we have all ages. So I would say to you, it's okay if there's something that you don't agree with. That's the purpose of public libraries, exposure to information and intellectual freedom. Yes, ma'am.
What a profound question that was.
Thank you, LaShawn. Always.
Because I'm
Yes.
sitting next to the coach
Please.
from 1998.
It was in the 80s, but we won't go there. Might have been the early 80s. I was a toddler, whatever.
I wanted to say that at some point, we will have a guest that does not know who.
I will buy everyone a cup of tea. I would be surprised in the city of excellence. You can not do the 6 degrees of Coach Thomas. I don't know if that happens.
Maybe when are we projecting the completion of term?
That is an excellent question, sir. I will say in general, we hope to have the physical construction completed end of this year, early next year. What we are experiencing is a lag in supply chain and furniture. So I've made the decision, or I'll say we've made the decision to reopen the facility once construction is complete. It's not going to look like an opening day with all the new furniture. When that becomes available, we'll close, we'll install all the new furniture, we'll move everything around, and we'll do a grand reopening. But it's more important to offer that resource to the community, which is the physical building, the expertise of staff. So that building will be closing November and December, so share that word. We have to close it to do some of the construction work we're doing. We can't have people in the building. So it'll close November, December. will reopen when construction is complete. We would love for you to come use the resource. Phenomenal meeting space. It's going to have 2 rooms that seat 100 that you can put together to seat 200. They're going to have study rooms, individual study rooms, and then they're going to have 2 smaller like meeting rooms, maybe the size of these tables, like individual that you can reserve. So I am delighted as a child of Harrington, as a, you know, I can still see myself for summer learning, looking at the tall shelves and going, I want that book, you know. It is going to be amazing. I hope you'll come to our grand reopening, but I hope even when it just is open and there's older furniture in it, you'll still use it because it'll still be a phenomenal little gem on 18th Street. Yes, ma'am. There will not be voting there, no, sir. But when we have voting in the future, you're going to love it because the flow and the traffic pattern and the availability and the space of the room is going to be fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Speaking of free speech and stuff, is there materials that y'all specifically won't carry?
Not that I'm aware of. We have a collection policy that we use professional resources, professional librarians, that sort of thing. But sometimes our community requests things, and if it's community demand, we try and meet that because that's what our community wants. It's not about what I think. Yeah. It's not about what Tammy thinks. It's about open access to information and intellectual freedom. And that's the core of any public librarian, school librarian too. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. LaShawn again, if you can't see her.
Because, this has nothing to do with the fact that I have worked for the city of Plano, I have worked for the city of Plano, but because I've been able to experience your library, the library that you all staff, I am in awe of everything that you all do all the time. And that is with no bias, that is just strict observation in terms of what you all do, how you do it, how you all lead Tammy, the passion that comes from the professionalism, the credible, everything that you all do, I am just tickled to be a recipient of your
But on that note, this is how you make me cry, but go ahead. Yes, sir.
We have one question online.
Oh, okay.
Nadia?
Get myself unmuted. Yes, so would you share some more information about the mentorship program? I believe it's called SCORE.
Absolutely, yes. And I know you're not here, but you can look it up online on our website, planolibrary.org. You can just search for SCORE and it'll be there. You can book one-on-one time with one of our SCORE mentors. They meet at Schimmelpfennig Library. I'm not sure if the times vary based on what your needs are and the ability for the mentor, but they just work with you on your small business plan. They give guidance. These are retired executives. It's a nonprofit organization. So I would encourage you to look at our website. It's listed on the front page. I'm visually scrolling in my brain, but if not, call me. My information's there, my email's there, and I'll send you a direct link.
Okay. Yep. Thank you very much.
And Tammy always remembers all the things Libby doesn't say because I talk about all the things. I go all over the place.
Do I need a microphone or can I? Okay, now we've got, well, now my hands are full and I'm going to demonstrate something with the white folder. Okay, so so you all have white folders, and if you don't have one, I hope I'll give you one, because on following what LaShawn said, the most important part of this white folder is this red one at the bottom that says take action. And I hope you'll pull it out and especially do the first one, which says tell others about the valuable resources and services at Plano Library, and gives our website. So I hope that you all do that. And then secondly, back to outreach, we want to come to every single thing that you can think of, every PTA, HOA, community organization event where we've got our van. It's fabulous. So I hope you'll contact us, and that's on our website. So make sure you have a white folder and bubbles.
And everything we do is in our brochure. We're coming to the end, August is the end of this brochure. We're going to release our but August is the month of business and career resources highlighted here. So make sure that.
We have one more question online. Do we have time?
Yes, we've got 3 minutes. So
Julia?
Yes, it wasn't more of mine wasn't a question. I just wanted to say thank you all so much, and please thank your staff for what a wonderful job how you helped all of us families with kids during COVID. When things hit in spring 2020, and I realized in addition to my full-time job, we're now trying to educate our children after school hours, my first thought was like, if the library is not open, we're not going to make it. thankfully you were all open. And I just want to let everyone who didn't know the amount of work, I assume, tripled or quadrupled for your staff. So think about it. Today we walk in the library, we go find our 10, 20 books, we take them home with us. Librarians did all of this for us and set items. You could reserve your items. And there were lines of cars there the moment the library opened and the moment how you figured out how to do it safely for staff. And you opened those services for us. And it was a wonderful, wonderful connection. So thank you all again. And my biggest brag of the week, I didn't brag today, but now I thought I should have, because my daughter on Monday, she said, Mommy, can you please, my oldest said, Mom, I'm out of books. Can you please take me to the library? So we spent an hour at Schimmelpfennig, our home library, and she's got a wonderful collection of books. And we're just enjoying coming to the libraries all the time. Thank you all very, very much for everything you do.
Thank you, Julia. Yep, y'all made Libby tear up like 4 or 5 times.
In all full disclosure, I'm biased. My mom is a librarian, so I grew up in the library. So
Yes. The next, Friends is doing 4 book sales a year now. And so rather than having the large one at Plano Event Center, there are 4 and they're at the libraries. The next one is coming to Parr Library, September 17th, I believe it starts. It's in the brochure. So if you look in the brochure, and another one in December at Davis. So we'll have those 4 times a year going forward.
Awesome, thank you. Before you step away from the podium, what we do in an appreciation gift for your time and coming and presenting with us is we make a donation in your name to the Polio Plus Foundation. So the certificate is behind you. So we donate $10 in your name, and that, along with the 3-to-1 match from Bill and Melinda Gates, turns into $30 and helps to fight the
I'll accept on behalf of Team. That is very kind.
I love the library. Poor Kristen, asked her the story about us holding her hostage, that we got locked in my office because she came to visit. Yeah. We have history. Thank you guys so much. So next week is going to be our networking day, fun day. I don't know what we're doing yet, but Joanna, I'm sure, has something fabulous planned. With that, Joy will not forget the 4-way test this week. So, David, would you like to lead us in the 4-way test?
The 4-way test of things that are due.
Will and better friendships.
And is it fun? Thank you guys. Have a great day.
You see what I did?